Alright, we're back. So, I didn't record any of that, which sucks. I just dumped out the gas tank. I had the whole thing like filled with water. The only part it leaked out is right here. That doesn't matter. Those fittings are gonna leak until you seal them with PT4 sealant. This is gonna make, like I said, I think this side where the fuel pump goes is gonna be it's gonna be my inlet. I'm gonna have to run it up top somewhere around here, but we got to get under the car, and I'm gonna turn lights on. I'm gonna turn my spotlights on. You're gonna see all of it. This time you're gonna see. You're gonna see me drill holes, mark everything, and drill everything. Since nobody's ever actually seen me on my channel do the actual work, because anybody can be doing it, right? So let's see. That's gonna be me right there. Let me turn this light. I'm just gonna hold it up there. I'm gonna hold it up there and just kind of see. I can't get it like the bottom. I can't get the bottom of the tank. I'm not gonna be able to get the exact top of the tank. That's not gonna happen. That ain't happening. So, this is how the tank and how the car is designed. So, what we're gonna do is mark it, and then I'm gonna show you guys what I got. So, let me turn on these spotlights. We're gonna see. We are gonna see, literally. Okay, so we got lights, we got camera, we got action. I don't know how that's gonna show up in a video. I'm gonna have to point them a different way. Hold on. This ain't my camera lights. I ain't gonna work with a camera light. I'm gonna work with a spotlight. Camera lights is different. So I'm just gonna hold it up there quickly, just to get a reference point. I am not gonna do anything else. And I'm gonna get my step drill. So that's how it's gonna look for the setup. So let me go ahead and get my step drill, or not my step drill. I already got that. So let me get while it's wobbly. Let me get a marker. Probably a black marker, because a white marker is not going to show up. So let me get this white marker, or black marker. And then I'm going to get under the car and you're going to see. So let's mark a reference point. Actually, let me get, or did I have it out here? I'm turning around back and forth. Hope you guys ain't getting dizzy. Where did I put that welded return? That weldless. Okay, so here it is. And this is an Earl's return line. It's a weldless return line. It comes like this. It comes with a set of instructions. You just got to drill it up to a step, half-inch step, with a half-inch step drill. They say don't use a regular drill, because these gas tanks, they're not very, some of these gas tanks are kind of thin. You don't want to use a regular double margin or regular drill. You will destroy the metal around it, and then you're kind of screwed a little. So it comes with a straight fitting, and I'm probably going to have to use this one. When it goes in, when I drill it, it's going to, I have to heat this up. It's going to go in a certain way. But I'm not going to do it now. All I'm going to do is drill the hole. I just need the hole drilled before he powder coats it. Do all your fabrication work and then powder coat and paint stuff. Main point. So this is why I'm just trying to get it in place. So I have to see where I'm going to put this at. And all I need is this marker. I'm just going to put an X. And then we're going to drill up to a step drill it up to a half inch. and that's it. I'll put it on this this table over here, this long table here, or whatever. But half inch step drill, and I got it. I got a drill. I got it. I got everything. So I'm probably gonna end up using this one. I don't know if I'm gonna use this one. I mean, it just depends on where I'm gonna put it at. We have to see. I have to look. So, all right, let me put you down, and I'll tell you exactly where I'm gonna fit it at. Okay. I'm pointing that right where the spare tire is. And technically that's where it's at. So, here we go. Should be easy. Kind of easy. It's not a heavy tank. Like I said, I just need to hold it up there. I just need to hold it up there for reference. I don't need to put it in. But if I can do it. Yeah, I don't have my fitting on. It's got to be in the right spot too, let me tell you. Because these tank straps are kind of a bitch. Okay, so we gotta spin that tank strap around, put it up there. Okay, so here's where it goes. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? Like, where in the top of the tank is that gonna go? I gotta be really smart about like where this actually is gonna fit, because I mean, right above the sitting unit, I don't know if I want to do it there. I mean, it can go on the side, but I would rather not have it on the side. I'd rather have it, I don't know. I would rather have it feed in the top on the right side, if I can even get that bad boy in there. Because it's going to go to the bottom. It's got to go to the bottom, but not by where it picks up. Because I don't want aeration. Because that's what happens when people feed here and here, and they don't have some kind of baffling or foam in between there. I don't. I just got holes. I got like a bunch of holes right here, like half a dozen holes. It will feed down, but it needs to, it'll feed out probably here, and it'll probably, I don't know, I'll probably have to put the baffle to where it comes down. I mean, if there's a space right here in the spare tire, that's cool. I really don't know. I don't know. Is that where it went before? I think that's where it went before. Because I got the filler neck on, but the filler neck's on only because I don't have the rubber sleeve, the rubber grommet in there, so it's like really easy to fit on there right now. It's like really easy. So I think, I don't know. I think I can put it in the top of the tank where the spare tire is. But yeah, because where the spare tire is, I can't move over anymore. I think I can put it right there. Like it's right here. My return can go right there, and I can run it around the frame rail. That's okay. I think that's okay. Because I gotta get it right. Or right here. Or right, yeah, no, I don't know. Let me see. Because if that's where a strap goes, that's where a strap goes. Yeah, these Fairmonts and Mustangs, you gotta, especially when you got an old car that, it's got a return line, but it's like, you need a return line the same size. So I think, now my arm's getting tired, you guys. I think right under the spare tire, but that's where that felt. That's exactly where that felt was, so I don't want to run it there. So let's be smart. I don't even know how that line would bend down like this. If I ran it sideways, I would. I can't run it there. I think if I missed, it has to be on a flat surface. I think if I ran it on the outside of the strap, we're gonna have to put it up in place. Put the strap on this side. Okay, so I put the bad boy back up in here. I think if I ran it right here, yeah. I mean, it ain't the top, but it's also not by the by the sump, and it's outside of that. And I think I can run the straw down there, like the bendy straw, and it'll run to the bottom of the tank. So let me take this back out. We'll look at that. We're not going to run it on the very top. The highest part, it'll never work. It's all covered. Like that will never work. Like you would never be able to get an AN fitting on the top of that. Like that would never work. So let me set up a light that's not too bright. Maybe I'll set up one of these spots. Set them up too bright, and then get it sideways. You know, we are improvising here. I ain't no YouTuber, man. I'm just showing this stuff so simply. Maybe somebody gets some value out of it. Maybe somebody will get value out of it. Maybe they'll say, hey, you solved my problem. I didn't even know, man. Thanks. You know, and that's cool. That's cool. But I don't do this for a living, man. I don't do YouTube stuff for a living. I work for a living. Like, I don't need to do this. I'm just doing this because maybe somebody will find value. And I'm all about that. I'm all about helping people. Okay, so this gas tank, when I was looking at it, so we got to be careful. We got to be mindful where the straps go. The strap goes right here. I mean, honestly, it's a weld fitting, so I could put it right here, and it'll definitely be on the bottom of the tank with the flex tube. That is not even a question. So I'm wondering. If I put it like that, it'll be like that. The flex tube, yeah, straps here, flex tube's down there. I don't know if everybody can see that. Yeah, if I put it right here with the flex tube in there, it will hit the bottom of the tank. That's what I needed to do. I needed to hit the bottom of the tank. I don't care where, but it needs to be flat at the bottom. So I am going to, I don't know, I'm gonna mark X right here. Hopefully that's good. It's really just a return line. I don't think it's gonna, as long as it's the same size as the feed line, I think I'll be all right. Let me, well, I got my drill right here. Yeah, I got my drill. So let me do that. I got my drill bits. Let me open them up. My step bits. I will open these up. And we're just gonna drill up to a 1/2 inch. We're gonna tape. What we're gonna do, if you guys don't know, step bits. If you get in a bind, look at where you're at. Look at what you got to drill, and do that. So I'm gonna have to have I'm gonna have to deburr it. So the instructions, you can't see them. It says just use a step drill and just heat up the end of that tube. I just put it in hot water. I may need to cut it. It says what does it say? It says find the location on the tank, at least 1 3/8 space, mark it and center punch it, and it says step drill it to a 1/2. It says, that's why it says step drill it. So I'll step drill it to a half inch, and you guys can see it. You know, I'll deburr it with, I don't know, I had a deburring tool, but we'll find it. Main thing is let's just get the hole drilled where we need it, where I marked the X, and use the right step drill for a 1/2 inch. And with the step drills, if you don't know how far you're going, you can't see, put tape. So it says drill to a 1/2 inch step. So find your step. So you find your step. Oh, these aren't even marked. I have to measure with my calipers. I got calipers. I have to measure with my calipers and find out where the step is, and then tape it off. Wow. Hold on. Let me stop recording. I'll be back. All right, we're back. All right, so I got my caliper, you know, some Amazon stuff. I mean, they're calipers. It's not super precision, so we're gonna zero it out. And I think this is the 11 step bit. I think this is the one I need. This is 11 step bit, 12 step bit, 1/2 inch. Well, let's see how many steps are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's 11 step bit. Yep, we don't need that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's the one we need. We need to measure this. God, this thing, you know, Amazon tools, you know, but half decent, half fake decent. You know, you get what you get. Sad they don't have these marked, but I didn't buy them. I didn't buy nice stuff, so that's 6 to 10. It's 485. Yeah, that's our 1/2 inch right there. I mean, it's fluctuating around, but that's, God damn it. I mean, it's showing 500. That's it. That's our 1/2 inch. I mean, I can also count the steps and then do the math, which I could also do. So step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 steps up. Use blue tape to stop yourself from going too far, because you can take metal out, but you cannot put it back in. It's just like electronics. you can take the smoke out, but you can't put the smoke back in. You know. let me verify that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 steps down. So the 6th step is 1/2 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can verify. We can double check our work. Why not, right? Triple check, double check, measure twice, cut once. Well, that's how I was taught as a aerospace machinist. Let's see, 0 it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I wouldn't be doing this if this had marks on it, but you know. Harbor Freight Specials, baby. $4.95. That's the one. It's 500. We need that 1/2 inch. So that's why I tape it. I tape it because I'm stopping myself at the tape. I'm stopping myself at that step. If you don't have yours marked like that, you better figure out where it should be marked. Because if you don't, you're gonna go too far. If you go too far, well, figure it out. Because now you can't put metal back in. Now I don't know what you're gonna do. So, anyways, let me drill this hole. I don't even know where the heck my deburring tool is. Man, this thing's huge. Oh, it fits though. Alright. Let's get this tool out of here. Let's not get it all. It's still really clean. It's like the first time I physically used it for an actual job. So let's get this out of here. Let's get this out of here. Let's get this fitting out of here. I don't care about that brake tube. I don't give a crap about that. That's NICOP. So maybe I might need NICOP, but nah, I'm not probably not use it. So we're gonna go to the tape. We're gonna make sure we go to the tape. Look at that. It ain't that hard, man. Just where's the actual, let me see about that fitting. It's gonna be a little, it needs deburring, but let's see if we went as far as we needed to go, which I'm pretty sure we did. So, fitting. Drops in the hole. Alright. That should be enough space between that and that damn tire. I'm hoping. Because yeah, it couldn't have been right there. It could have been right here. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out, you guys. Because even with that tire, what you call it, that felt thing, I really don't give a crap about that. We can cut around that. So let's see if it fits. Let me get the light back down here. Get the light back down here. I'm gonna cut this off. After that. All right, let's get into it. I know the fitting's gonna fit. I'm not worried about the fitting. It fits. You just gotta have room for When it goes back in, it's going to be good. It'll be all right. Yep, it's right out the top, or it's right at the top, or top, not the highest part, but the top, and it's away from the sump. That's all you want. It just needs to hit the bottom of the tank, so there's not, you know, it's not just spitting into open air inside the tank. It needs to have those straws inside there, you know, to prevent the aeration. So we did what we had to do. We just got to deburr it before it goes to the powder coater. Definitely want to deburr it. So I'll show you guys how this works, how the actual fitting works. I'll deburr it like, you know, soon. Actually, it's actually not that bad with a step drill. This is why they told you to use a step drill, so you don't have to deburr it. If you use a regular drill, you'd have to deburr it, and it is a that's fun. You have to have deburring tool, which, you know, on that, it's not that bad. So anyway, so the way this works, for me, I'm going to have to use a flex tube on the bottom of this. So I have to heat this up, because this is a bitch to get in, and I see why. It's meant for fuel and, you know, and all that stuff. So you're going to have to heat this up and squish this on there. I'm not going to do that now. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Man, hand strength. Look at that. I almost got it on. Oh my God. I almost got it on. Almost got it on. Let me just squish it all the way on and just call it good. Alright, you guys. I'm just going to end the video right here for now. This is going to be spliced up. Like super spliced up. This is going to be like a long video. Well, probably won't. This will be a long video. So, super spliced up video. Sorry for that. It's just all rear end of the car. So, it's going to be like an hour. I hope it's not an hour. Hope it won't be longer, because I'm going to cut it up. As you can see, it's all the way on there. It is going to flex to the bottom. That's okay. At least it's at the top. It's going to be like this, and it's just going to feed my 3/8 line back to the tank. It's going to feed, and I'm going to have a regulator and a higher flow fuel pump, mechanical fuel pump, that's capable of 9 psi, but we're going to turn it down to 7 for the carburetor. Obviously, carburetors can't handle that much, and you need a carburetor bypass regulator. Don't get deadheads. Just run from the sump, or run from your return for the size fill you need, or your a feed, and run it to the carburetor. Don't run it in a drive line if you do NHRA stuff. I mean, don't run it in a drive line tunnel. You don't want to do that. Run along the rails of the car, side of the car. So my fuel pump on small block Ford Windsors are opposite of Chevys. So I'm on the driver's side. So I'm gonna run my fuel line. I'm gonna pick the right side or left side for my pickup, and it's gonna run up to the car, run up to the pump. All 3/8 steel, not stainless. I ain't doing that. It could be regular steel. You want to do stainless? You want to show a car? Cool. I ain't bending that crap. 3/8 stainless? There's a reason why they don't double flare those lines. And I'm not double flaring anything. I am probably going to use compression fittings throughout the fuel line. And a transmission, to be honest with you. So, let's recap. So, 3/8 out of the tank, 100 micron filter, probably up behind the bumper. There's some like bracketry on the body and stuff. Then run it up to the fuel pump, bend it, run it up the frame rail side, the side of the car. Fuel pump, 130 gallon hour mechanical fuel pump, probably Holly. It could be the Victor, but probably the Holly, because I have a Mr. Gasket bypass regulator coming. So it'll go into the fuel pump, compression fitting, 3/8 MPT in and out, then compression fitting 3/8 up to the fuel filter, 40 micron, because the back one has to be 100. The front one doesn't have to be as filtered because you got 2 fuel filters. So 40 micron filter, then the regulator, not before the regulator. you know, or after the regulator, before the regulator, the second filter, then the regulator, then try to set it to 7, and then it goes into the fuel lines, and then it'll go in and out crossways, and then there will be a bottom feed or bottom inlet or outlet. So that's the bypass. Like on bypass filter bypass regulators, it goes in, out, or in out like this way to the carb on carburetors, and then the bottom one, it's a bypass, and you run it back to the back of the car, where this is where this goes. On deadheads, which could cause vapor lock, I will tell you it's a 2-port. It's in right here, and these two are running the car, but it's deadheaded. It has nowhere to go. I would rather run a bypass. If I'm doing all this work and powder coating this tank, would you not run a bypass? I would run a bypass at this point. Now, I'm probably going to paint the tank gloss black. I was thinking about gloss silver so it stands out, but then I'm like, everything in my car is black and red. I'm just going to do gloss black. My transmission plan is going to be gloss black. My Stifler cross member is going to be black. My whole suspension is going to be red. My engine block is going to be black, so it's just going to be red and black. I thought about silver, but I'm like, do I need to throw another color in the mix? I'm thinking too much. So, gloss black. We're going to go that route. And I may do more gloss black under the hood, like powder coating stuff. So, you know, my powder coater guy, he's good. He does a good job. Did my sunframe connectors. His son did my sunframe connectors. You know, Pacific Performance Coatings in Everett. They're decent, and they work with Aerotech sandblasting and coating in Marysville, and their coating place is in Arlington, Washington. So that's good. I like doing the local small business stuff. I like dealing with them. It's easy. Just go in there and get my stuff, and it's done. I don't have to pay a gazillion dollars. So they say sandblast that thing is good. So anyways, here we go. This is my return fitting. Like I said, it's a Earl's weldless fitting. So what happens is that when you put this in the tank and you tighten down this nut and you start tightening down this nut with the 9/16, oh, that's the other thing. I got to do it before the tank goes back in, because that's going to be really hard. So I got to do it before the tank goes back in, because it smushes this knurl up against the tank so hard with the seal that it's sealed. You don't need to do anything else. And this is going to bend. This tube's going to bend for sure. I can double check, but for sure it will bend, and it will be on the bottom of the tank. That's cool. So anyways, this is this part of the video. I'll come back and finish it up when I'm doing suspension work, when we're doing all the control arms and the rear end and all that stuff with the new rear end in. So, alright, see you. Peace.